they're just going to take your hard-earned money. So that was the final straw for me to leave, because some things that just don't make sense. It's not worth wasting your time on, because you only live once, and if you waste your working years working somewhere that you are not appreciated, then in the long run you are going to be the one to suffer.
I won't let no one come and take your place, 'cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See, no one else knows what to do. That's why I don't mind spending my life with you. Won't be.
Hi guys, what is up? Welcome back to ROSA channel. In this video I will be sharing my experience with you guys of working in a call center in Jamaica. To be more grammatically correct, it's call centers in Jamaica, because I worked at 3 of them. So to start off, I just want to say that this job is not for everyone, and if it comes down to it where everybody have to do it, I'm sure that the person that it is not meant for will find a way, because it's just one of those things that's a necessary evil. Right, so my first call center, I started out as a customer care associate. I was basically assisting customers with questions that they might have about the service being offered and how they can get discounts and stuff like that, right? Now, this was very draining, because initially I was placed on night shift, and after the 2 or 3 weeks of working a night shift, it was day shift, just like that, 7 a.m. to I think it was 4 p.m., and it was just a lot. So after the training of, like, you're in a classroom for a couple of weeks, you have to do some tests, you pass them, you get placed on what they call nesting. That is basically on the job training, if it is that you are not familiar with the term. So what you do in this is you're basically given, I don't know, some quotas to meet. You're supposed to meet a KPI, key performance index, or some handle time, that is how long you stay on the call for, or something in that arena, but they'll tell you what it is based on the call center and the position that you're working in. So as an account associate, I basically answer calls and stuff like that. So when I went on to nesting, it was just a lot of calls coming in back to back to back to back. There was like no break unless it is your scheduled break time. But otherwise from that, you're just going to be in the queue answering calls like an automated machine that does not require us. They also sent out surveys to customers, and it was really, really crazy how this system was set up. Because if it is that, like, a customer gives you a satisfaction, like a smiley face, or it's very appreciative of the service you gave and they liked it, then it is considered as a good rating. And if you get a bad one, you need like 7 good ones to make up for that bad one. So that is why I say that it was just crazy. Now, in terms of the salary that was received, well, it's pay every 2 weeks, bi-weekly. In terms of the pay that was received for the job, it was really, really not worth it. But at the time, I just did it because, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. Right, so this is a call center in Havachir, like across from the bus park. Let's not call any names. But yeah, the salary was really not worth it. But at the time, it was a lot of money for me, because that's the most I'm ever making at any job. But after a while, you get to realize that all the expenses paying for you to go to work, getting lunch money, because you ain't got no time to do nothing else. You gotta go buy food when you get lunch. After a while, you'll start to realize that it's really not a lot of money, but you just gotta work with it until better comes. Right. So after working at that call center, it was time to go back to school, because what I basically did through university survive, I went to a new call center every summer. It was not basically what I wanted to do, but that's how it turned out for me, because they don't technically support you going to school while working at the call center, because it's a full-time job 99.99% of the time. You might find a 1% who are your favorite to get a part-time job, but good luck with that. Good luck with that is not sarcasm. I'm just saying that it's really ridiculous how the system is set up. So if you're to find that, the good Lord will be on your side to dig that up for you to get that job. And then I went back to university, completed a year at university. Then I went back. I was in another call center. That particular summer, though, I don't remember the year, because I don't know. I don't keep all of this on my mind. So that particular summer, I went and did that interview at a call center on Constant Spring Road. I was successful. I went the first day. I did not go back because I was claustrophobic. I felt like I was underground, and I could not stay in that training room for 16 weeks with so much people, and it was during COVID time. So that one was definitely not going to work out for me. But at the time, I still had my other job, because, I don't know, I just do more than one jobs. But I had my other jobs, so I had the liberty to just walk away and go back to my other job because, it was just like a testing out thing. Moving on to that's one, to my third call center in also a four call center more work, yes. Moving on to my third call center. I was a sales associate and that's a very popular call center that everybody wants to go to. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you about working there. The training was very short and basically you had to make a certain amount of sales to be able to advance onto the production floor. Right, so I passed that part of it, passed the test, the training, the classroom training, and everything. Because all of these call centers are basically the same. You do the training, and then you are sent on to production. Right, so I was successful in all of that. Went on to production. It was a 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. shift. Right, so within my first 2 weeks, I put in the work. I made some sales. And at the time, $112,000 in 2 weeks. That was a big step up for me, and I was happy, right? But over time, I just got tired of all the annoying calls and persons calling about what they're not supposed to call about, and me trying to convert a customer service call to a sales call. For example, somebody called to report, oh my god, there's a wire down in my backyard. I'm supposed to convince that angry customer that they should buy something from me today. So after a while, based on whatever calls you were receiving, the job just became toxic. Like, I don't know, like one of those stimulated environment where everything that you do is controlled. For example, they decide to send you this call because if the customer is calling on the phone, it will say, for customer service, press 1. The customer will not listen to the other options. They probably just press 1. And customer service queue is overfilled, so they will just send the call to the sales department, and you better convert that or give them customer service number to call back customer service, because the automated system can't exactly just hang up on the customer, because that would just appear very rude and then the customer will be more pissed than before. Anyways, at that call center, I was making the sales target. Then after a while, I went into like queues that just didn't make any sense, because I was doing everything I was taught to do on the calls, using all the sale conversion techniques, everything, but it was just not working out because I really don't know what's going on in the background, but it just didn't add up. From doing good to not making any sales, it was just demotivating. But whatever. The good thing though was that there was a base salary, and based on whatever sales you made, the commission structure is different, so it varies, right? And then I was at that call center for a while, and then the reason I left was because it was affecting my performance in school, and secondly, after they took money out of my salary because I could not control what a customer decided to do. And I'm going to break it down for you guys. There's something called an auto pay, where a customer will give you their card information and you'll set them up so that each month their bill is automatically deducted from their debit or credit card. But in most cases, it's a credit card, right? People are more sensitive about their giving out their debit card information. So you'll set them up on auto pay, right? In some cases, the customer will not want to do this because they probably, one, have no intention of paying their bill on time, two, just don't like the idea of having the money deducted from their account whenever, or three, they just want to make it themselves by whatever other means, or I don't know. But yeah, so customers did not sign up for like auto pay, so I did not reach the quota for that, and they took money out of my pay. And for example, let's say that my pay was $175, they took $100, and I only got $75, and I was like, this is just crazy. It is not as if they're saying that, oh, this was a bonus amount to say if you make it, we'll give you this, or you'll not get it. They're just going to take your hard-earned money. So that was the final straw for me to leave, because some things that just don't make sense. It's not worth wasting your time on, because you only live once, and if you waste your working years working somewhere that you are not appreciated, then in the long run you are going to be the one to suffer, because your pension may not be enough. Persons in Jamaica right now are getting a $8,000 pension, and I just don't see how that is going to make anybody survive based on the ridiculous cost of living worldwide, right? So if there is something better that you can spend your working years on, then you should definitely do it. Call center had also promised to provide me with a part-time job. However, when it was time for school, I went to HR to speak with them about what they said that they would have done when school came around, because initially I told them I had school. HR was very, very clear in making it known to me that it's either I'm going to choose to keep the full time job or I'm going to just leave the job and go back to school because they will not support part time. So I did submit my resignation and I went back to school and I went back to my little 250 job on campus. Big people lifestyle done during the summer. Right. And then after that, I went back to school for another year and yeah, I was in my final year now. Then after that, I was waiting on the degree and stuff, applying for jobs, not getting anywhere. Decided, you know what? I hate staying at home because it's driving me crazy. I can be doing something more productive, even if it's not what I want to be doing. What I did was to apply to another call center in New Kingston. They were having walk-in interviews, I think, and I went and I got accepted for the job. It was a chat role and it was a night shift and I told him I wanted day shift. I need a day shift because I cannot function in the nights, especially when I want to sleep because if my body's programmed that way. That's just the way it is. And once I become tired, I get clumsy and cannot focus like too good. Yeah, it's like my productivity level is up here and then it just goes down here when I'm tired. Right, so I was at this call center for a few weeks. It didn't last long because the night shift was really, really just not working out for me. And I don't know, driving to work in the night, it was just, I don't know, I can't see, like, I prefer to not be on the roads at night because I wear glasses and glares are just killing my eyes. I was just trying to get me a regular 9 to 5 job for the time being until I can figure my way out of it, but it didn't work out because the call center was a night job, night 9 to 5 job. I had the day to do whatever else I wanted to do, technically speaking, but in the day I was so tired it was just not gonna work out. But anyways, I ended up leaving that call center, and based on the experiences that I've had at call centers, I would say that in most cases as an agent it is not worth it. I've never held a management position, so I cannot speak to that status. So in a call center. So what I'll definitely have to say is if it is a necessary evil for you, you just do it until you can do better because I know how it is. And also there are a lot of like relationships going on in call centers. I don't know, it just causes a lot of mayhem and probably add more stress to people in work already. I really don't know. But that's something that I see going on a lot there. The other thing is there are a lot of parents there, for example, single parents or whatever, and you know, you need to take care of your child, so it's a necessary thing that you have to do. Another thing is the whole bus system is not exactly favorable because you have to wake up so early to go on the bus and end up reaching work late anyway. Like, it's not mentally satisfying. What I mean to say by that is, for example, you have a 10 o'clock shift and you're reaching at 10:30, 11 o'clock. You're not marked as late on their schedule because it is the company's fault why you're at work late and you may not mind. But for somebody that is thinking about the I don't know, the fulfillment of it, I will like, it's kind of annoying that you wake up so early to get ready to go on the bus just to end up reaching work late. Anyways, it's just not worth it in that sense. If you understand what I'm saying, you can comment down below. If not, you can just also comment and I'll try to explain that better. But I think that was pretty straightforward in what I was trying to say, right? And then the other thing is the high call volumes. It is just overwhelming and the phone ringing in your ears. Like, even after a while I stopped working there, I could still hear the phone going off in my ears and it is not nice. Also, a person just call you and talk to you on the phones for very long and you have to try to find a way to get them off, or they will just call you and start to curse you out about your parts and your craft and you have nothing to do with whatever their issue is. Just because you're associated with the company, that is why you're getting all of that cursing and stuff like that. But overall, I would say it's not worth it. But if it is worth it for you, then most definitely, if you share a different view on what I had to say here, then you can also let me know in the comments because my channel is definitely open for that, right? So I would definitely say if you can avoid getting all wrapped up in the BPO sector because it is very hard to get out once you get in, then you should definitely avoid doing that because the shifts they change too often. You get a different lunchtime each day, mess up your eating habits, all of that. Like, I don't know. People like to use the word modern day slavery, but I will not use that term because you are getting paid for it. But the working conditions are not exactly favorable. So if it is that you can avoid getting into that type of environment in the beginning because it's going to be very hard to leave, then you should definitely not opt for that option, right? Or if you have a plan that you say, okay, I'm going to work here for 3 months or 6 months or a year or 5 years and then leave, then you should make it work for you. But if it is going to be a long-term goal for you, then you should definitely aim to not be an agent forever, because it's not worth it. Anyways, I don't have much more to say. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching my video. Please don't forget to like, please don't forget to comment and to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Remember to subscribe.